Okay, in this video I'm going to take a look at an unusual, or probably not that unusual, it's a noteworthy unfair dismissal case though. It was published there last week or the week before, and it was reported widely in the media. Basically, a builder broke a colleague's nose in a fight in the workplace and was dismissed, brought a claim for unfair dismissal and succeeded with the claim. So if you're an employer, understandably, you're probably tearing your hair out saying that's absolute nonsense. The amount that was awarded for the unfair dismissal was relatively small. It was €966. But if you consider the cost of perhaps representation, if you're an employer, for example, representation at a WRC hearing, you might get a solicitor, you might have a barrister, or you might do it yourself. But it's going to cost you in either legal fees, legal costs, or time, or both. And you may well have witnesses as well who are going to be missing from work and so on. So the inconvenience, to put it mildly, is significant. The background to the case: Mark Gilligan made a comment to an apprentice of a personal nature. The apprentice pushed Gilligan to the ground. Gilligan then struck the apprentice and broke his nose. Gilligan accepts that he struck the apprentice. He denies making the personal remark. Derek Daly then was the employer. I think he was a block-laying or construction company or a block-laying contractor. He gave evidence of a bad relationship between the two men. He said Gilligan bullied the apprentice. Daly told the WRC that he was related to Gilligan but could not afford any further aggravation or rows on the site. He dismissed Gilligan and gave him a notice pay. So Gilligan had been in a dispute with the employer Daly about laying blocks. He refused to do so, and Daly had spoken to him a number of times about this. He told him that if he continued to refuse, he'd be fired. He did not put anything in writing, however. The adjudication officer held that the disciplinary procedures followed by Daly on both of these occasions were lacking and unfair. She noted that even though the word bullying was used by Daly in evidence, there was no anti-bullying grievance or disciplinary procedures in the workplace. She determined that Gilligan was unfairly dismissed, but that he was partly responsible for the dismissal by his own conduct in provoking the apprentice. He had also chosen to work just 1 day per week to preserve his social welfare entitlements. She held that he was 66% responsible for his own dismissal and reduced his award from €2,928.40, that's 4 weeks' wages, down to €966.50. One key takeaway though here for employers, one key lesson, is that employers should have procedures in the workplace. Either a grievance procedure, a disciplinary procedure, and a dignity at work procedure which will deal with bullying, or a staff handbook. Either way, an employer is going to have a very difficult time in defending any claims against them if they simply do not have the procedures in the workplace. And if they don't have the procedures, then it's going to be easy for any employee who is dismissed to say that I didn't get fair procedures or natural justice, there was no disciplinary procedure in the workplace, I hadn't a clue what was going to happen, etc, etc, etc. So you can see there, the takeaway for employers certainly is to be very concerned always, no matter what the situation is like, about the procedure that you use to terminate employment, and above all else, have procedures in the workplace, have a staff handbook. Hope you find this video useful. If you do, I'd appreciate if you gave it the thumbs up down below, and you may be interested in subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thanks a lot.